Welcome back to Sunrise. Well, Anthony Albanese has fired back at Donald Trump after the president refused to give Australia an exemption on those 25% tariffs on steel and aluminium. The Prime Minister says it's entirely unjustified and against the spirit of our friendship. For more, Foreign Minister Penny Wong joins us now live from Melbourne. Great to have you with us. So, should the Prime Minister have done more here? Should he have gone over to Washington and met with the President face to face?
Look, I think it's pretty clear that the government from the Prime Minister down has been, working overtime to try and land this deal. But the reality is, as we know from what the White House has said, they reckon that the exemption that they gave last time to Australia and other countries was a mistake. And so this time they were very clear that they didn't want any exemptions.
Has the government ruled out retaliatory action, or should we be putting some tariffs on exports?
Well, Shervo, we made clear we're not going to go down that path, and the reason is we don't want to add to people's cost of living. The reality is, tariffs are a tax on. They make things more expensive for the people buying things. So that's why this is actually going to harm American consumers, these tariffs that have been imposed. So we're not going to make the same mistake and make Australians pay more.
Is this just the start for us here? Our beef producers are holding their breath. Of course, it is our biggest export. How concerned are you that it will be hit with a tariff like the steel and aluminium?
Well, what we would say is Australian beef is a great product. Australian beef enters the United States market under a free trade agreement that's been in place for a very long time. As a friend and ally, we want to continue to see that free trade agreement honoured. That's what we want. That's what the government will keep working towards. And if I can say this, we'd invite Mr Dutton and the opposition to, back Australia here. Whenever they've got Mr Dutton's got a chance to stand up for Australia, instead he stands for political opportunity. I'd say to him, well, you've got a chance over the next few weeks. Back Australia, back buying Australian, and back Australia in our campaign to try and ensure that beef and other products continue to enter the US free of tariffs.
You touched on us being friends with the US. Is that friendship being tested right now?
Look, we obviously don't believe that the action that has been taken is in the spirit of the friendship that we have, the long-standing friendship between our two countries. The Prime Minister's made that clear, and he was very upfront about that. We think that given the friendship and alliance between our two countries, that there ought to have been a different result.
Can I ask you about...
What I would say is, we've had a long-standing relationship with the US. That will continue. They are our principal strategic partner. It's a friendship and an alliance that's lasted for decades, and it will continue to stand.
Slightly smaller issue to global tariffs, but just on our Australia-US relations, there are calls this morning to deport an American tourist, an influencer, who filmed herself picking up a baby wombat and ripping it away from its mother and then running away to get a photo opportunity. Is the government looking into this? It's caused outrage.
Yeah, look, I actually just saw that as I was sort of prepping for this interview, and it looked pretty dreadful, didn't it? I'll leave those sorts of questions to Tony Burke and to the authorities, but really, leave the wombat alone.
Should Tony Burke get onto it?
Well, I'm just going to leave it to him, but I think everyone who would have seen that would have thought, look, leave the baby wombat alone, leave it with its mum. Yeah,
the squeals are horrendous, aren't they? Penny Wong, thanks for your time.
Great to be with you.
Here's Nat.
Handball from Penny Wong there for their take. Let's bring in Sunshine Coast Mayor Rosanna Natoli and journalist Joe Hildebrand. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Rosanna, should this influencer be deported over the wombat incident?
Well, you know what? I think everyone watching that footage thinks, being a wildlife appreciator, you should be taking a photo of the wombat, not a selfie with it. So how about we slap her with a fine, give that to some of the wildlife organisations that could do with that money, and then maybe ask her to volunteer so that she can actually learn how to value our wildlife and not make it a photo op.
Oh, Joe, is that a better idea than deporting her?
It's a great idea. Look at Rosemary. She's all just, hey, hang on a minute. This is a revenue opportunity. Yeah, look, I think that she should be deported just for being an influencer. I mean, we have enough of a problem here. We need skilled migration. I think there should be Australia Border Force at the airport going, sorry, what was your occupation? Influencer? No, sorry. Back you go.
Right.
Come back when you're a plumber.
That's a good idea, actually.
It's a great idea, isn't it? And I think, and why stop at Americans,
Yeah.
you know? Just start rounding up Australian citizens. What? Oh, sorry, screen time on Instagram. No, shouldn't have taken a photo of yourself with that waterfall.
That's it.
Off you go.
Any people
you're
who've
fired.
done a selfie? I'm deleting mine right now.
Or grab her and use her as a bargaining chip for the steel tariffs.
Hang on.
Drop the steel tariffs or you don't get her back.
Rosanna, yes?
I am a bandit for a selfie, so don't ban everyone who takes a selfie,
all
or there
right,
are a
I'll
lot
make
of
an
people who are going to have to
Just
leave.
her, but maybe not deportation, because people are hot under the collar over this one.
Yes.
Moving on, it's been revealed the public servant overseeing Queensland's disaster response and recovery headed away on holiday after Cyclone Alfred smashed the state's southeast, apparently on Sunday. Inspector General of Emergency Management Alistair Dawson went on leave, now holidaying at an undisclosed overseas location. Rosanna, it was planned before the cyclone. Should he have gone? Should he have cancelled?
Well, as a mayor of one of the regions in the firing line of Alfred, I can say I did not see anyone miss a beat. We sat in on meetings with all of those disaster management, the ministers, the Premier, emergency services, non-stop, twice a day, more than 10 days. I did not notice anyone miss a beat. So all of the plans were in place. Everything really went as it should have in this kind of a situation. So I can't see where any issue has come up here.
Rosanna, you're on the fence. Should he have gone on holiday?
Deport him!
Or should
Deport
he
him!
have cancelled?
Look, you know, when you have these sort of situations, you do have to have deputies in place, those processes in place. I did not notice anything that was untowards here. Everything went really as you could hope for in this kind of a situation, which, can I tell you, was pretty scary.
I don't know if she's answered that. But Jo, see, she's not a journo anymore. She's in
That's
charge. And boy, do they
that's
change.
right. I've got to learn from those responses. I might get in less trouble. Look, so this guy doesn't actually lead the emergency management response. He has an oversight role where he looks at what the agencies on the front line do and sees how it could be done better. And I'm just a little bit, and I don't want to sit on the fence as well because it is a terrible look, but I'm a little bit reluctant to kind of weigh into... There's this sort of thing where you just weigh into everyone who ever goes on leave ever at any times. And I just remember the infamous one where Scott Morrison did it, went to Hawaii. And I just thought, I'll just wait for all the people who weighed in next time they take a holiday. And of course, these comments come back to bite them. So... you know, we don't know. We don't know if there was family reasons or whatever that he had to take leave. We don't know where he is. But thankfully, Alfred wasn't as bad as it could be. I'm getting splinters from sitting on the fence right now. I
know. And
come join me on the fence.
Come join me on the fence. The fence is big enough for two.
No,
but having said all that, deport him.
No, he's from Australia. But anyway,
Doesn't matter.
No, I agree with you. I do agree with you both. He could have had a family emergency overseas. We don't know the details this morning, do we? I don't like the pile like that. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
And on the ground, it all went well.
Exactly.
And let's just say that now that this is over, come visit us because, you know, we need you.
We need the tourists. OK,
I'm going to go there as an influencer.
Beautiful one day.
Yes,
Stop it,
beautiful.
Joe.
Sorry.
Goodbye. Might take a selfie, though. Bye. See you. Here's Sheva.